Are you talking? I can't hear you if you are.
All right, guys, let's get started here. So, if you have stocks you want me to take a look at, put them in the chat, um, and we'll go from there. Let me know if you have any questions as we go through, so on and so forth. And we're going to start with the indexes here. Make sure everybody's muted. Mm. Um, oh, and first things first, the sale that's going on, if you got the indicator, you got signed up for the premium membership, or you signed up for one-on-one coaching, make sure that either for the coaching you've got an email about getting scheduled. Those will start this upcoming week, so you should have been emailed. And then also premium membership, you should be in automatically. And then the indicator package, just make sure that allow 48 hours for it to be updated. But any new people trying to do coaching, that should be you should have already received an email, so make sure to check your email and your spam. And if you're interested in any of that stuff, 30% off with July 4th code. Or code is July, all caps, and then four. All right. So, if like I said, if you have any questions, let me know. I am on vacation, so I'm gonna make this quick, easy, and then yeah, just let me know if you got questions. But we'll go over everything that's important today. So first things first, SPY. If we're looking at this, you can see we've had this nice rally off the daily squeeze. So with this, there's not too much to be said. If we look at the weekly time frame, um, yes, I am beachside. I was gonna sit on the balcony, but I'm in Ocean Isle, and there was a tropical storm that came last night, so it's extremely windy. So I'm not outside, but I usually do when I have the opportunity. But so we have this daily squeeze. You can see the momentum is continuing upside. And the problem, or this is fine. We continue to trade this, and everything looks good. You can see we have a bullish score of 50 here, and chart looks good. We made new all-time highs. We've been talking about making all new all-time highs from back in here. We started getting long a lot of stuff, actually on this day right here, um, right in this area, and so we've seen some nice follow through. Thing we need to check is a put call. Now notice what happened here. We went from okay, everybody's bullish, we flicked up. Now you have to see this price pattern that's going on. So when I'm looking at this, you can see, so look at when we get below zero point 0.7, we have a correction, right? Then we go back up, we drift back up, then we go back below zero point 0.7, and then we start some sort of decline, right? Okay, then we go below zero point 0.7 here, and then we gapped up, and now uh people are getting short because we're making new all-time highs. I think this is going to meet us with some kind of extreme continuation to the upside, and because what's happening? Well, when we got to all-time highs, people are now kind of scared essentially and going short the market, just based on this big upside move right here. And so that means there's more people that are fearful, which is going to open up the doors for more upside in the markets and continuation. Now, one thing you want to take a look at is, let's see, so the Qs, or is it ES? Yeah, so we've got a monthly squeeze on ES. You can see the last bull market that happened was off of a monthly squeeze. So, but we were in it from July 22nd until, July 2022, all the way until July 20. So this was almost a two year deal. So February 2024. So that was almost a 2 year deal. So with that, just keep in mind, that there's no reason that we're not going to continue upside. And this, if anything, this right here is indicating to me that people got scared or started shorting the market when we got to all-time highs, which makes it even more bullish because we don't have any supply above us. We're at all-time highs, clear skies ahead, and now people are getting short, which the only supply that we're running into is these people that are getting short at all-time highs. So what's going to happen? If we continue to go higher, people are going to cover their shorts, which is going to fuel more buying pressure to the upside, and it's going to make the move even more explosive. Okay. Now, here's the thing, be aware that we can pull back at any point, like, or pull back meaning 21 EMA, right? We've been holding the 21 EMA, so that's always going to be that line in the sand as of now for being bullish. Because if you see here, we held the 21 EMA, here we held the 21 EMA, and we always revert back to it at some point. Okay. Now, but here's the thing, we can hold this 8 and we can continue trending higher, and it's all good. But yeah, just keep that in mind. Um, Pullbacks to the 8 should still continue to look to be bought. Pretty simple. Same thing with the Qs. Don't make it too complicated. We've got the 1272 up here at 580. Um, we've got it on SPY here at 650. So I think we should continue to see upside momentum and maybe see a pause up in here. That's just my opinion based on what we're seeing, and things can change very quickly. And but right now, that's what we're seeing. What I'm seeing right now is we can continue upside. Um, IWM is starting to see some buying. Um, which I'm never going to be like, this isn't going to be my go-to index to be long or whatever. But you can see here, we've got monthly buy signals. You can see here, we had nice buy signals right here. I did not notice this in the past, but, or until right now, the monthly signals, but this is very bullish. So we're going to definitely want to pay attention to this. Small caps could see a move to all-time highs. You can see exactly what happened here. Look, we had buy signals back in here off the monthly chart, and then we moved right into all-time highs. So um, you can see that was a 21% increase on these. So if we went long TNX, which is the leveraged wait, no, TNA, is this the bullish one or the bear? Bull. There we go. Okay. We could go long this one right here, and that would be a really nice setup for another. Yeah, that's like a 60. Okay, hold on. Because they move a little bit differently and those decay. But here, say if we bought it right here, moving all-time highs, it'd be a 20% move on the um on TNX. So this is not that great of a setup in terms of where we're being trying to buy it right here. If we get any sort of pullback here, like we pull back to like this support level right here, I will be buying. Okay, so I'm gonna set an alert there. So you can do the same thing. You don't have to wait on me. Free right here. 21 EMA pullback or a pullback to this support level right here. And I'll be buying TNX or long calls, whatever, looking for like, I even like the idea of IWM 250 calls for 2 years out or something like that. Okay, because that's a monthly chart. It's going to take a minute for this to play out, but you can see here, this took, so if we go here, and that was a 20% increase within 4 months. Okay, maybe we can go a year and a half out, something like that. All right. So that's IWM. What does that also say? Well, that also says, okay, we are in some risk on trading right now. Okay. So that means these smaller companies are being bought up. What else does that mean? Well, that also means that um, we need to take a look at Bitcoin. Okay. So Bitcoin, this is one of my favorite setups going into this week. For the month of July, next couple months, I think we're going to make a new all-time high in Bitcoin. Um, we are 2.5% away, and I think we're going to make a new all-time high, and then maybe hit that 120,000. So let's go here, draw this out. We never met this fib extension. Okay. So for us to break 110,000, we're probably going to go to 120. So I think the best way to play this is BITX. So I like the idea of trading this one long, and we could see a really nice move on this one. So if Bitcoin is leveraged ETF, and I want you guys to start utilizing these because not enough people do. So that would be about a 10% return on Bitcoin. If you trade BITX, you're going to see about a 30% return on the shares, and there's no time decay. There's none of that nonsense, and it's a beautiful thing. Okay. So that's a really great setup that I'm watching into this week. Another one that I'm paying attention to is, and probably one of the bigger setups that I'm seeing is uh, China. So China is setting up really nicely, in my opinion. I think we're going to have a nice breakout. So we entered KWeb last week at right about here-ish, maybe 50 cents higher, something like that, than where it closed. But you can see here, we're clearly building higher lows. And through here, you can see uh higher low, or we put in this low after we sweep that low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Now we're getting buy signals. You can see here, look, higher, or we had a low like this one, we went and swept it, then we put in a higher low, higher low, higher low, breakout. Okay. And then that resulted in a move from 45 to 100 in just a in just under a year. Okay, so that's a pretty crazy move. So another one that I'm looking to add this week is, I like FXI. I think this one actually looks even better. So I'm looking to add this one, and there's a leverage ETF for this one, and it's called Y or Yin, and then the reverse is Yang. So it's pretty interesting. But I think this one is a great one to buy as well. So I will be looking for this one to head up. Like this is a big risk to reward trade here. I think we're gonna at least hit if it plays out, we'll hit 60 on this. So currently trading at 40. I think we can go up to 60, a 50% return on this. Um, and I think this is a really, really nice setup for going long. And this yin tracks this FXI. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe I buy calls on FXI. Maybe I trade YINN. Maybe I trade both. But that's kind of my thought process here. All right. So this is probably my favorite setup going into the next few weeks. That and Bitcoin. And then behind that, we've got a few other things setting up. So XLU. We've got a weekly squeeze. This looks great. You can see 2 hour buys, 4 hour buys, daily buys, 3 day buys, weekly buys, bullish score of 51. Chart looks great. Okay. So daily chart looks choppy, but if you zoom in, you can see here what's going on. We're holding the 50, we're making higher lows. We've held it one, two, three, four times. And so I'm looking for, let's go make all-time highs. So all-time highs are trading right up here, and then I think we could go hit $85. If you want to use a fib target as well, we can do that as well. And that would come out to be around 87. So I like this. Maybe trade the weekly squeeze, up to you. But I like this chart. You can see momentum rising to the upside. We've got the red squeeze, It's came out of the orange squeeze, so it's starting to move, and we've got daily buys, weekly buys, 3-day buys, all the things. Okay. And then next one is XLP. So XLP has a weekly squeeze, but this thing has been choppy, choppy, choppy. But you can see weekly chart looks good. We're trading well. We need to get above this 786. It's continuing to reject it, but as soon as we break that, I think this should be a pretty strong move. You can see we're holding the weekly 50 really well. We bounced here, slipped below it for a second, reclaimed it really quickly on big volume, and held here, held here. And now, I don't know if Sebi's on here, but he had pointed out a good stock, and I don't know if he noticed the um, comparison between XLP and also uh, Walmart is within XLP. But if you're taking a look at this, you got daily, 2-day, 3-day, weekly buys. And if we go look at Walmart, this one is trading right under $100. And I think buying the, and then we also have some daily buys coming up as well. And prices getting tight. We're building higher lows. We're holding the 50. So I think for this one, we could buy calls on this and buy the $100 calls and look for a move into new all-time highs and then continue up from there. Uh, so if we go like this, mark out our levels here, and from there, let's see, we could see 112 on this. So yeah, Walmart's the next one. So, and then last thing, gold miners. Okay. Gold miners, this one's pretty, this is one of the more difficult things to trade. I will say, be the first one to say that, but this chart looks good. We continue to bounce off the 51, 2, 3, 4 times, and we did it back here, all through here. This seems to really well respect the 50. So you can see here, 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 and here. It's all use the 50 as support. Okay. So I'm thinking, can we get a move back into this new highs? I think this might be a great setup there. Uh, there's a lot of places in the market that look good, so you have to just pick your spots. Like, for example, XLY is printing. It's got a daily squeeze that's already breaking out. It's got a weekly squeeze that's showing up. Looks great. So we're in Amazon and we're up pretty nicely on this one already. We bought it here. And so we're continuing to look for the breakout. We've got a weekly squeeze. Looks great. And then we've got Google. Google also looks good. So keeping an eye on this one into next week, I think might be worth going long this one and trading it to the upside as well. So um, those are all the charts that I'm looking at and keeping an eye on. Top priority is, so based on sectors, you've got, we can write these out. So we've got China, Bitcoin, XLU, XLP, XLY, and GDX all setting up for moves to the upside. And yeah, so keep an eye on these. These are the sectors that are setting up right now. Top two are my favorites, and then continuing down, how we can trade them. But yeah, so these are the things I'm keeping an eye on into next week, um, and really the next few months. So those are the ones that are setting up. Bitcoin's a shorter term idea. China's a longer term idea. XLU, XLP, I think they're going to be longer term ideas. GDX is a shorter term idea, and XLY I think is going to go make new all time highs. So that one's a little bit longer term. I'm really on that, just looking for Amazon to make new highs. Just as simple as that. Um, and that's the biggest holding within XLY. And one other one I'll give you for XLY is TJX. I think this is a great risk to reward one. And you can see we've held this 50 weekly 50 since uh a very long time. So that one looks really good. But all right, guys, do you have any charts you want me to take a look at or any questions? Because that's all I have to cover. S SPXL. So that's going to be the same exact thing as SPY. So you use SPY's chart and then you can trade SPXL. So same thing here. We're at all-time highs. I wouldn't be looking to get long here. It's too extended, but I do think you can buy stocks that are setting up. Just be aware that there may be a pullback. Um, right now, uh, there's just nothing really to do right here. So you can see we're pulling back here a little bit. And it's just we're not even touching the daily five. So expect pullbacks to the daily five at least because those have been holding as of recently. Um, and then just continue to look for stocks to buy when we pull back on these. So with like I said, with SPY. I think we're headed to 650. And I think there will be some pullbacks along the way, but I think they're going to be very shallow until we get to 650. Okay. And the big reason is because of this put call. You can see we went below zero point 0.7 and then we had a pullback, very shallow pullback. Um, let's actually talk about it. So it was a 3% pullback. We got below zero point 0.7 again, and we had a 2.5% pullback. So I'm expecting very shallow pullbacks because what this is telling me is we got very bullish. Everyone was thinking we're going to make all-time highs. Now that we've made all-time highs, people are taking profits and starting to go short. Okay. That's why we have this flick up and this spike up. So what I'm seeing is okay, people are starting to get short. They don't believe the rally and they're getting short and there's no overhead supply now because we're at all-time highs. There's no supply. Before you can see we got stopped up right here because there was this supply right here. Now we don't have that supply anymore. We're at all-time highs. There's nobody that is bag holding positions. Anybody that has bought positions from the past back in here all the way through here is now in profit if they held it. Okay. So the only things that can deter us from continuing higher is people selling short or people taking profits. And right now, if people are selling short, if we continue higher, they're going to have to buy back those and cover their shorts, and that's going to fuel more upside action. Okay. And right now, that's what it looks like is happening. And so I'm expecting continued momentum to the upside. And something to add to that to make this picture even more clear is IWM is seeing a bid. We've got monthly buy signals on IWM. That means risk on assets. People are looking to go long. Okay. And then on top of that, we've got Bitcoin that's setting up at new all-time highs and being bought up. This weekend, we've got daily, 2 day, 3 day buys. This one looks like it's headed for a new breakout and then to 120. And so all of those things, you use IWM and Bitcoin. You don't want to just look at the SPX, right? Or SPXL or SPY, whatever. You got to look at IWM. You got to look at Bitcoin. Those are the two best indicators for risk on, off assets. If Bitcoin's moving lower, that means people generally are not wanting to put risk on, right? And then you look at the put call. Okay. So the put call is going to tell you contrarian type idea thinking, right? So you got to study it, work with it, and read it. Um, so yeah, that's kind of my interpretation. I think we're going to continue higher. And all the signs I'm seeing right now, the last other thing I can look at is this here. But yeah, even the VIX, let's see, daily. Yeah, VIX got some sell signals. I think the VIX can head to 15. Look at that spike. Everybody was bullish going into the weekend, so or bearish. But all right, guys, any other questions here? So that I hope that answers your question for SPXL because that's just a broader market perspective. But uh any questions? Going once, going twice. All right, guys. Thank you for coming. Message me in the chat if you have questions. Like I said before, make sure to if you signed up for coaching, make sure you've checked your email. Indicator, allow for 48 hours to have it loaded into your TradingView account. The sale will end at the end of the week, all caps July 4. Thanks for coming, and I'll see you for the markets tomorrow.